Good evening. Welcome. I call to order a regular scheduled Board of Commissioners meeting, February 18th, before the snow Armageddon comes, if it comes. First item of business tonight is our invocation and our Pledge of Allegiance. I've asked Commissioner Jason Wunsch to lead us in our invocation, and Jennifer Mitchell with our engineering department to lead us in our Pledge of Allegiance tonight. If you would all, please stand.
Bow your heads. Dear Heavenly Father, thank you for this meeting tonight. Thank you for everyone that is here and has taken the time to come. Be with us tonight as we make decisions that affect our town and community. And also, Lord, be with everyone in the next coming days as we prepare for what could be a winter storm. Thank you again for the opportunity to be here tonight. In your name we pray. Amen.
Amen.
Okay. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Shortly later tonight, we'll be recognizing several of our employees from that are in our engineering department and engineering-related jobs in other departments here shortly. Next item of business is our meeting protocol. This time, I asked Town Manager Mitchell to review the meeting protocol for public participation as it relates to this meeting. Adam, good evening.
Good evening, Mayor. Good evening, board members. It's nice to be with you tonight. Tonight's town board meeting is both in person and live streamed on the town's YouTube channel and Facebook page. Tonight's meeting contains a public comment period and one scheduled public hearing. The public is invited to comment in person. When it is the appropriate time, Mayor Massengill will call on those wishing to address the town board. All attendees that have appeared in person to address the town board during the public comment period should provide your name and address on the green registration sheet by the podium prior to the public comment period beginning. All attendees that have appeared in person to address the town board during a scheduled public hearing should provide your name and address on the white registration sheet by the podium. We ask all those wishing to address the town board, either during the public comment period or a scheduled public hearing, to begin their comments by clearly stating their name and address for the public record. The public is asked to keep all comments to 3 minutes so that all that wish to speak may be heard in a timely manner. To be respectful of those that may have different views on matters addressed by the town board, we ask that all in attendance respect the decorum of the meeting by refraining from clapping, making loud noises, and generally showing support or displeasure for comments made during the public comment period or public hearings. Police Chief Smith will be asked to escort from the boardroom anyone not respecting the process, and it is the discretion of the mayor as presiding officer of this meeting to continue the public comment and or public hearing periods if the meeting protocol is not followed. This concludes the protocol for tonight's meeting.
Thank you, Manager. Next item of business is the approval of the minutes from the February 3rd, 2025 Town Board of Commissioners regular scheduled meeting. Any changes or additions to the minutes? If not, we'll entertain a motion.
Mayor Massengill, I move that we approve the minutes of the February 3rd, 2025 Town Board of Commissioners regular scheduled meeting as presented.
We have a motion. Do we have a second?
Second.
Motion second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Next item of business tonight we have is a presentation, item 4B. 4A was removed tonight. Item 4B, proclamation for National Engineers Week, February 16th through 2025. And I'll provide more information about this. So National Engineers Week officially started 2 days ago. And so at this time, I have a proclamation for it, but engineers provide a vital role, not just in business out there, but here in the town, here in Fuquay-Varina. And so what our engineers do, they're in a variety of different departments. Obviously, our engineering department has engineers, and our public utilities and our public works department also have engineers. And so these individuals' jobs is to ensure that infrastructure is built to a safe standard and that infrastructure is installed to a safe standard here in Fuquay-Varina. And so that can be, sometimes it can be water and sewer, it can be roads that are being built, it can be the underlayment of a road, or also how a water and sewer facility may be built are just a few examples. We have inspectors within our engineering department that are inspecting these types of infrastructure and also inspecting projects that happen, whether it's a new roundabout being built in Fuquay-Varina or a new road or a new water and sewer line project right there. They're also not just designing it, but also inspecting those types of facilities too. And so they are a safekeeper of the taxpayers' dollars, making sure that infrastructure goes in, is built soundly, and so that the taxpayers' money lasts a very long time with that. And so this is an important job, and I appreciate every one of y'all for coming tonight. I appreciate what you do here in Fuquay-Varina. The entire board appreciates you, and the citizens very much. You may not see it every day, but they recognize real quickly when something breaks or doesn't work, and so that's what y'all are able to help prevent for us. So I appreciate that. Before I read my proclamation, would you please stand if you're in these departments or in those areas of engineering related work? I know several that are here tonight. I'd love for you to stand so everybody can see that you're here and recognize you, please. So I want to give each of y'all a round of applause. Thank y'all for coming tonight, and I'd like to read this proclamation. Whereas engineers have built the foundation for progress and development in our community by turning innovative ideas into practical solutions that enhance our quality of life, and whereas engineers play a vital role in building and maintaining the critical infrastructure that underpins our daily lives, including roads, bridges, and other transportation systems, which are essential for connecting communities, facilitating commerce, and supporting economic growth. And whereas engineers face significant technological challenges, including rebuilding devastated towns, addressing environmental concerns, ensuring safe energy and water sources, and designing cutting-edge information systems to drive innovation. And whereas engineers also develop infrastructure that supports local businesses, creates employment opportunities, and improves the overall well-being of our citizens. And whereas National Engineers Week was established in 1951 to promote public awareness of the engineering profession and inspire future generations of engineers to pursue careers in STEM fields. Now therefore, be it resolved that I, Blake Massengill, proclaim February 16th through 2025 as Engineers Week in the town of Fuquay-Varina, and applaud the talented engineers working for and with our town for their dedication to enhancing the quality of life for all Fuquay-Varina citizens. Thank y'all very much for being here tonight. Anybody that's in the public audience tonight or watching online, if you ever have any questions engineering related, these individuals are very, very talented and are happy to be able to answer any questions for you and just a phone call away. So thank you all. Next up is our public comment period. At this time, the town clerk will call on individuals that are in attendance and have registered to address the town board prior to the meeting. The public comment period is a time for the public to address the town board about any matter that is not the subject of a scheduled public hearing. Those speaking are asked to begin by clearly saying your name and address for the public record. Please limit your comments to 3 minutes in order that all who wish to speak may be heard in a timely manner. Teresa, do you have anybody signed up?
We have no one tonight.
Nobody signed up for public comment period tonight. Next item of business are public hearings. Public hearings are a time for the petitioner to present his or her request and for the public to give input and voice their favor or opposition to the request. If you wish to speak and are physically in attendance, please step forward to the podium one at a time, provide your name and address on the registration log at the podium, and clearly state your name and address for the public record. We ask all those addressing the town board to please limit your comments to 3 minutes in order that all who wish to speak may be heard in a timely manner. First public hearing, item 7A, fiscal year 2025 to 2026 budget, pre-budget public input hearing. More information about this agenda item will be presented by Assistant Town Manager Matthews. Mark, good evening.
Good evening, Mayor, Commissioners, and members of the public. So the purpose of this public hearing is to solicit community input for development of the upcoming fiscal year 25 and 2026 budget. The town board extends this opportunity for citizens to express their opinions on priorities, service provision, fees, proposed projects, or more that they would like to see reflecting their priorities in the upcoming budget. The North Carolina General Statutes requires one public hearing, which is after the town manager presents its recommended budget in May prior to the board considering its adoption. However, the town of Fuquay-Varina has long given the public a dash more opportunity for community input. We offer that through this pre-budget public input hearing. So we're hearing from the public tonight. We've also been taking comments since January 7th, and any comments that may be submitted tonight through Let's Talk FV. And all of those comments and priorities will be taken into consideration by management and staff as we develop a recommended budget for your consideration later this spring. So with that, management and staff's recommendation is to first hold a public hearing to receive public comment in advance of developing the recommended fiscal year 25-26 budget. After that, you would close the public hearing and we would use those comments as we develop the budget. Thank you. I'll be happy to answer any questions you may have.
Thank you, Mark. Any questions for the public hearing? Okay, thank you, Mark. Hearing is now open. Does anyone wish to provide input to the town board pertaining to the fiscal year 2025 to 2026 budget? Welcome.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Good evening, Mr. Mayor, Town Council, Town staff. My name is Eric Christofferson, and my address is 504 East Academy Street here in Fuquay-Varina. I added some comments to the Let's Talk app on the town website. That's a nice feature. I appreciate that being made available to all citizens. The comments that I added were in regards to the Fuquay-Varina Museum. I'm not sure what may be in the works for the museum. My understanding is that it's a nonprofit right now, but as a citizen of Fuquay-Varina for the last 24 years, I've watched the museum, and Shirley Simmons and others collect artifacts and articles and photos and everything related to the history of Fuquay-Varina, and it's a wonderful collection that I'm proud of, and I think all of the citizens are. But the space is woefully inadequate, and I envision that, you know, Fuquay-Varina could have a world-class museum that displays the wonderful history of our town and makes it open and available to all citizens, visitors, school children, and all the newcomers that are coming to our town during this period of growth. It's so important for them to know about our history and to maintain our sense of place and our history. That's all. Thank you.
Thank you for your comments, sir.
Yeah.
Does anyone else wish to provide input to the town board regarding the budget? Hearing's now closed. We're moving to board. No action required by the board tonight for public input purposes only. Thank you, sir, for providing your input tonight. I think the museums have been a very exciting part of Fuquay-Varina and the history that's involved with them, and we continue to explore opportunities with the museums so that the public can be aware of them in schools and all of our great history here in Fuquay-Varina. Those of you that are maybe listening online or in the audience tonight that chose not to speak tonight, you can continue to provide town input via Let's Talk Fuquay-Varina, via contacting town management, or any of us board members also at the same time continue to receive input, and there will be public hearings for the future on approval of the budget. Next item on the agenda is the consent agenda. What's the board's pleasure on the consent agenda?
Mr. Mayor, I would motion that we approve the consent agenda 8A, 8B, 8C, D, E, F, G, and H, I.
Second.
Motion and second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Administrative report, item 10A, consultant selection, construction management at risk services, public service center, phase 2. More information about agenda item will be presented by Public Works Director Stevenson. Tracy, good evening.
Good evening, Mr. Mayor and Town Commissioners. Thank you. As you know, we've been working on expansion of our Public Service Center. It's a project that we call Public Service Center Phase 2. And so moving along with that, if you remember a couple meetings ago, we selected Withers and Ravenel and Teeple Architects to do the design for that project. Subsequently, in the past, the town has done a lot of research. Town staff and management did a lot of research on the construction manager at risk method of project delivery and determined that that was a good way to deliver projects for us. If you'll remember the recent opening of Hilltop Needmore Town Park Community Center, that was one of our projects that was done by this method, and I think it was a major factor that led to that project being so successful. So town staff solicited proposals from qualified firms to provide CMAR services for the Public Service Center Phase 2 project. After we reviewed those proposals, Edifice Construction was determined to be our best qualified firm. We did a round of review of the proposals and also interviews with two firms. Edifice Construction has a history of providing quality services to municipal clients, including us, and again on that Hilltop Needmore Town Park Community Center project. Town staff recommends that we enter into a scope and fee negotiation with Edifice Construction for the services that are associated with this work. We also determined our second qualified contractor was Bobbitt. They were determined to be second qualified in our ranking system and through the interview. We always select a second in case we cannot come to terms with the first choice on scope and fee. If we come to an impasse, we would move on to that second consultant to come to a scope and fee agreement. We will have a future agenda item coming to the board with that scope and fee, and we'd be making decisions on that contract at that time. So our motion tonight, or our recommendation, is to designate Edifice Construction as the best qualified firm for construction manager at-risk services for the Public Service Center Phase 2 project, and consistent with North Carolina General Statute 143, 128.1, and to authorize the town manager or his designee to negotiate scope and fee subject to the town attorney review as to form. In addition, Bobbitt is designated as the next best qualified firm. I'd be happy to answer any questions y'all have on this.
Tracy, Edifice did the community center, just as you mentioned, which is going off great. We're talking about that later with Jonathan tonight, recognizing some of those items, but it came in ahead of schedule and under budget, and that's extremely rare nowadays that it happens. And so I think Edifice did a very good job proving themselves on that building right there. Not just any company can take on this large of a project, and so obviously you'll make sure that they come in under budget and ahead of schedule again, right?
Do our best.
That's right. And so I think that is a definitely a good recommendation. Any further questions from board members? If not, we'll entertain a motion to move.
Mr. Mayor, so moved.
We have a motion. Do we have a second?
Second.
Motion second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you.
Thank you, Tracy. Under budget, ahead of schedule. Next item on our agenda, item 10B, Administrative Reports, Contract Award, Budget Amendment, and Project Ordinance Amendment, HL 0042, Judd Parkway and Highway 55 Intersection Improvements. More information about this agenda item will be presented by Engineering Director Poland. And speaking of that, Tracy, who stood up just a minute ago, is an engineer we recognize tonight, and we have Matt also, who is an engineer we recognize tonight. So thank you both.
Thank you. I'm submitting this agenda abstract and supporting documents into the official record of the town. The purpose of this agenda item is to approve a budget amendment and project ordinance amendment in the amount of $1,800,000 and to award a contract to ST Wooten in the amount of $1,908,050.75 to construct the Judd Parkway and Highway 55 intersection improvements, the HL 0042 project. So the town was originally awarded this grant funding in fiscal year 21-22 to provide operational improvements at the intersection. The project will provide dedicated left turn lanes, dedicated through lanes, and dual right turn lanes heading north on the eastern portion of the intersection. The improvements will include signal upgrades, new sidewalks, crosswalks, curb and gutter, and storm drainage. These improvements will increase the intersection capacity and provide safer enhancements for pedestrians and vehicles. So the construction contract was advertised on February 4th, 2025. Bids were publicly opened here at the John W. Byrne Municipal Building, and ST Wooten had submitted the lowest responsible bid at $1,908,050.75. Construction is expected to begin in the spring of 2025 and will last approximately until the fall of 2026. And so we do have a pretty lengthy fiscal note attached with this. The total project cost is now $3,672,183. We had originally established a project ordinance of $1,872,183. Due to the LAP funding delays and with COVID, there was 6 projects in total that got pretty much delayed by COVID and the funding delays, and this is number 5 of that 6. And so we are going to be approaching CAMPA for that additional $1.8 million at a 50-50 match. So, and tonight, town staff recommends the approval of this budget amendment and project ordinance amendment, awarding the Judd Parkway and Highway 55 intersection improvements project, HL0042, contract to ST Wooten Corporation for $1,908,050.75, and authorize the town manager to execute the agreement on behalf of the town, subject to the town attorney's review as to form. And with that, I'd be happy to answer any questions.
Matt, this project right here, when it's finished, has a left turn lane, two straight lanes, and then 2 right turn lanes. Is that correct?
Correct.
All right. And then it's showing a little bit of new pavement on the bottom side. I don't see a compass on here, but the bottom side, or probably the west side of Judd Parkway right there. And then with the development that's happening on the corner too, they're also probably putting in some kind of improvements or coordinating with y'all on this project.
Yes, sir.
Right here. Okay. And obviously you do traffic studies that show where the lanes are needed right here and how they come through and move people through. You know, often the public asks, how do we come up with designs? And first of all, professional engineers design these, not a bunch of politicians guessing where lanes need to go. But and that's what designs show right here, just how it needs to be designed to move that traffic that backs up all the way toward Brookside and Mississippi Hall. Is that correct?
Yes, sir. Got it.
So we get additional money, we get it paid, we've got it approved, we're getting the additional grant money to help pay for it. You know, I'm asking you always, and I know often you say it, but asking you again, what's the time frame on starting and finishing?
Spring of 2025, so this will probably start April-ish, May-ish, and it'll last about 12 to 18 months approximately.
Okay, so 12 to 18 month contract on that right there. That's great. That's what we like. That's what the public loves to see. I know it's been an intersection that it's a shame it took so long between federal government involvement and funding freezing that happened right there, but we're getting ready to get going finally on it. And that's great. Any other questions or comments from board members? From Matt?
Mr. Mayor, just sorry to see it. You know, I've seen so many accidents or almost accidents, people trying to turn, make that left turn coming off of Judd Parkway into Food Line Shopping Center, and can't see it because it's a blind spot. So I'm glad that we have that median now to alleviate those issues. I see so many times of people trying to get over from 2-3 lanes, trying to get over to make another left-hand turn. So that's good to see. So excited about this project.
That's right. Get it done. All right, we're entertaining motion to move.
Mayor Massagill, I move that we approve a budget amendment in the amount of $1.8 million, along with the corresponding project ordinance amendment, and award a contract for the construction of Judd Parkway and Highway 55 intersection improvements to ST Wooten in the amount of $1,908,050.75, and authorize the town manager to execute the contract on behalf of the town, subject to the town attorney's review as to form.
We have a motion. We have a second.
Second.
Motion second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?
Great.
Motion carries. Wouldn't dare oppose the traffic improvement. Next item of business, other business. Town manager's report.
Just a few things to update the town board on this evening. First, since the opening of the Hilltop Needmore Town Park Community Center on February 4th, the center has experienced over 17,500 visitors to that facility. We've processed 543 transactions. We've distributed over 1,000 memberships, And we've had over 350 people use the drop-in option for racquetball, fitness, track, and the open gym. So a widely popular facility, widely used so far since February 4th, and receiving nothing but positive feedback. So I wanted to share those data numbers with you so you could understand how that facility is being utilized by the community thus far. Our streets department finished pre-treating roads with brine today. You probably noticed that as you were driving around or came to the meeting this evening. Our sanitation department aims to complete Wednesday's recycling pickups before conditions worsen. Both departments will adjust plans as needed based on developing weather conditions for Wednesday and Thursday. The Fuquay-Varina dance team heads to Durham for their first dance competition this upcoming weekend. We want to wish them good luck on that. On stage, the Gin Game opens on Friday at the Arts Center, and Shanna Tucker Sings Sade is next Friday. So some great events coming up, and submissions are now open for the third Fuquay Film Festival. So if you know of anyone interested in submitting for that, please encourage them to do so. Fire Station number 4 was awarded the 2025 Space Award for Top State County Municipal Project from the Triangle Business Journal. And I'll pass this down so you can see it. This was on February 13th. And there was a very nice write-up in the Triangle Business Journal about our facility. I think, Chief Jones, you had said that Bobbitt Construction had submitted other projects, 30 other projects over the years, and this is the first time that they have had a project submitted that they won for, which was our Fire Station number 4. Of course, you know, almost a $9 million investment in public safety in our community. It encompasses some of the most state-of-the-art technology with the decon building behind the main building, and certainly the historic room, named after our former chief, Tony Malden, but also highlighting years of history for our fire department, and the classic Mack truck, the 1945 restored Mack truck. Very proud of this facility, as I know you are, and it's just nice to be recognized for having one of the nicest, the nicest state, county, and municipal project in recognized by the Triangle Business Journal. So I want to congratulate our fire department, the Bobbitt team, all of the town staff and elected officials that were involved in that process. Our 4 new fire engines are scheduled to arrive here in town Thursday afternoon. Now that could get a little sideways with weather, but that's what the plan is, and we'll be excited to have those 4 engines. They look sharp. We're excited to show them off to you as a board, to our community, and get them in service hopefully in the next month or so once we get them in our possession. But we're excited about having those trucks here, and they're going to provide a great deal of public safety service to our community for many years to come. Joe Thiem recently received a career ladder promotion from firefighter 1 to firefighter 2. We want to congratulate him on that career ladder promotion. Joe joined our department in 2022, and he was part of the 9 recruits that were hired for Fire Station 4. You might remember those recruits went through the fire academy, came here to be recognized, and actually got their badges pinned on them in this very boardroom. And Joe has advanced through his career stage already and is now a firefighter too. So we want to congratulate him. And Captain Mike Altier received the Town Employee of the Year Award from the Fuquay-Varina Women's Club at their meeting on Monday, February 10th. Mike was recognized for his commitment to his profession, fire service, his dedication to our department, and community service with the Sleep and Heavenly Peace nonprofit group that works to build beds for children in need throughout our community. So congratulations to Mike. Can't think of a better person to be recognized by the Fuquay-Varina Women's Club for their Employee of the Year award. Our finance department has begun the process of evaluating departmental budget requests and analyzing revenues as staff has worked to develop a budget and a 5-year plan that will be balanced and align with our strategic plan. The finance department sent out RFPs. Thank you to Nicole Stevens and her team this last week for the installment financing for the replacement of the fire engines, and the financing is anticipated to come before the town board in March for your consideration. 3 projects held pre-construction meetings this month by our engineering department: the Jones Street Sidewalk Project, the Southeast Judd Sidewalk Project, and the Downtown Varina Pedestrian Improvement Project. And these will all be starting construction in March. So a lot of cones going to be on the sidewalks here in the coming months. That's a good thing. It's making improvements. And our Public Utilities Department had a water line repair at NC 55 and Dickens Road, and it was successful last night. The water line repair at Wagstaff and South Main Street is on schedule for tonight. And water line bids for Ennis Street were successfully opened today and are under budget, we're happy to report. Public Utilities hopes to present an award for that project at our March meeting. Other than that, Mayor and Board, I just want to draw your attention to the financial quarterly report that was included in your agenda materials. Cliff notes of that is that we are tracking on meeting our budget goals, both in revenues and in expenditures for this year. And so there's nothing in that second quarterly report that is a glaring concern as far as the budget process is going. We are keeping a close eye on sales tax revenues. We have not factored those in yet for the holiday season, so we'll see how those come in. But as it stands right now, things seem to be pacing along with our budget plan. There is a coffee with a cop. I'm sorry, before I get to that, I want to just announce it and remind you and all the ones from the public who are watching tonight that the State of the Town address will be delivered by Mayor Massengill on March 3rd. It'll be at 6:30 p.m. in this room before our regularly scheduled town board meeting on March 3rd, which begins at 7 p.m. Coffee with a Cop will be at Eggs Up Grill on Wednesday, March 5th from 9 to 10 a.m. And you do have several first readings in your agenda materials this evening. There is a zoning map amendment and land use plan amendment that has been submitted by New Waters Recovery, North Carolina. This is at 6321 Johnson Pond Road for your consideration to review. A first reading for a zoning map amendment submitted by Holland South Estates, LLC for 8514 Purfoy Road, and a zoning map amendment and land use plan amendment submitted by the McKinnon Property Group for 1900 and 1924 North Broad Street and 0 Dickens Road for your review. All of these will be coming before you at the first meeting in March, so we've got a few things stacking up for your consideration at that meeting. Other than that, Mr. Mayor, I'm happy to answer any questions that you and or the town board may have. Otherwise, that concludes my remarks for this evening.
Questions at this time from me? Any questions for board members? We all have some comments. Some of those events and different things that have been happening that you mentioned are board members making some comments in regards to them. A lot of success right there. So thank you, Manager. Commissioner Harris, any comments?
Yes, Mr. Mayor. I'll tell you what. The Community Center North has enabled me to have a lot of positive conversations about what's happening here in Fuquay-Varina. I mean, it's the ribbon cutting, all of that excitement, and to see people join together to celebrate the accomplishment has really been a positive for the community, and it speaks to the values, the core values that we have so vehemently reflected upon. I just think that that's been just really, really great. And again, the staff and the management needs to be recognized for that effort. Jonathan and all the staff, I just think it's just a great facility. As we've heard, there's so much excitement about it, and I think it's going to redefine how people look at our community here in Fuquay-Varina. Just so many exciting things have happened. It was good to hear the request as far as the museum is concerned. I had a person ask me today who had recently moved here to tell me the story about Fuquay-Varina. Where can I go to visually see a story about Fuquay-Varina? And of course, to me, that just reiterated the importance of our expanding our museum facility and to make sure that we take advantage of the opportunities to tell the rich story of Fuquay-Varina. And as we continue to grow and change as a community, I think that story is going to be more important because people are going to join in and contribute to the overall health and beauty of this community. So, Mr. Mayor, those are my comments. Thank you.
You know, Bill, Hilltop Needmore Town Park Community Center has been such an incredible place. I think everybody in here will be singing the praise on that one, that's for sure.
Yes.
Thank you. Commissioner Adcock, any comments?
I don't have any further comments. I liked Commissioner Harris's comments, and I'll just I'll leave it at that.
Thank you.
All right, good words. Commissioner Wunsch, any comments?
When you walked into Community Center North, you know, you couldn't help but be tremendously proud of the town of Fuquay-Varina, our staff, management, our board, our citizens. I mean, it just such an impressive, like you said, Commissioner, such an impressive facility. And I too have just been hearing such positive comments from the public about how much they loved seeing it, how much they've already been enjoying it, how much their kids have enjoyed competing in there already. It's no surprise to hear those numbers, because when you have a facility like that, you would hope that people would flock to it and enjoy it. But it was also impressive to hear that other communities and towns have wanted to come and look at it and say, hey, you know, can we do something like this? That Fuquay-Varina once again is a leader in facilities and that type of thing. So kudos to Jonathan and all who had a part in making that happen, because that was definitely a red letter day in Fuquay-Varina. I wanted to just congratulate Josh Cooper. He's a sophomore at Willow Spring High School that just set the school's first achieved the school's first state championship at the 500 meter. And his father said that not only did he get the state championship, brought the first individual state championship back to Willow Spring High School, but he scored third in the country as a sophomore. And so we have a lot more years to brag about Josh and the high school and their indoor track program. And I didn't get to see the first part. I had to miss it because of work, but the chamber bus tour was incredible. It was impressive. It was, you know, just put together all the great things that are being or have been constructed, including Community Center North in the town of Fuquay-Varina, and was just a real proud hour to be able to enjoy. And we had a fabulous tour guide with the last name of Seymour.
Hilltop Needmore Town Park Community Center, Jim Seymour tour guide.
You know it.
Jonathan might give you a job.
Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner Wunsch.
Thank you.
Commissioner Haynes, any comments?
Yes, Mr. Mayor, piggybacking off of the other two, you'll be getting a lot of calls from a lot of municipalities. I've gotten multiple calls from municipalities all over the state who want to come see the community center, because they're all working towards some community center looks like this. So you'll be getting even more calls to set up more tours to come check out the community center. As well as I was at the first part of the economic development summit where we had a superstar named Seymour, last name Seymour, who did an amazing job with his presentation in a short period of time, kept everybody laughing, but as well was very informative about what's going on in the town of Fuquay-Varina and where we're trying to go in the town of Fuquay-Varina. And we had a great presenter as well who really helped a lot of the business owners. She was from Elkin, North Carolina. She made it down right out of the snow to make it down here to present to us. So that was very, and then the numbers for the attendance was very high this year, which is a good thing. So that was very well attended, as well as the bus ride was good as well. So those are my comments this evening.
Thank you, Commissioner Haynes. Mayor Pro Tem Gardner, any comments?
Well, just I echo all the comments concerning our new Hilltop Needmore Park and community center and senior center. It was amazing, and we took a real leap when we decided to go forward and include the second phase with the first, so that we could save some money. And I just am proud of that decision now, because I think certainly those numbers that our town manager referred to tonight are evidence that we did the right thing with that, and I'm really proud we took that leap. I too would like to thank Eric Christopherson for his advocacy for the museums in our budget process tonight. Thank you. You live near there, and you also own a property that's historic and very is important in certainly the history of education in this community. And in thinking about the museums, there is one thing I would just like to bring to your attention, and that is we lost a real champion for our museums this last week when citizen Tim Carroll passed away. He is, more than anyone I can think of, credited with that, particularly the things in the museum that are connected with our railroad history. He was a railroad employee. He had gotten sick and did not get to have his retirement on November 15th, but he loved his job with the railroads, and he's collected railroad memorabilia his whole life and has shared so much of that collection with our museums. I think there will be a celebration of his life. I think they're looking at March 29th, and it will be at the New Hope Railroad facility, and I think that's very appropriate. But he certainly has meant a lot to our museum, so I wanted to acknowledge that. Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor Pro Tem Gardner. Economic Forum that was mentioned right there, was a great attendance. I think that was grew from last year, even more attendance right there. And I see we also have another celebrity in the room, Melissa Sigmund, that's a tour guide also right there. And so Melissa, I got a lot of positive comments in regards to your bus also. So thank you also. You and Jim made the dynamic duo right there, tour guiding. So good job. Thank you very much also for that. Some of these record numbers that we're talking about at the Hilltop Needmore Town Park Community Center, in attendance there, also some of those, Jonathan, are for other parts of it so some of it is free to use and some of it has a small cost relative to it. But my point of me saying that is they continue to boom right there. The public recognizes and is acceptable to that cost that's relative to it. Mostly everything there is free if you're an in-town resident. If you're not an in-town resident, your tax dollars you do not pay tax dollars, and therefore you pay a user fee there to use some of those areas right there. But that was the right decision, adding the second phase to that facility also, at the same time expanding that. You started having a variety of sporting events already there at this time that are well attended. Staff's doing an excellent job. I've received numerous compliments from the public about how the programming is going there and going well. Honestly, you expect not a lot, you expect some kinks in the beginning anytime you open a brand new facility, but y'all have done extremely well, and so that tells me y'all were prepared for it and went into that. And so I say that because I haven't been hearing stories about kinks, and I would say it's completely reasonable if there were a few of them, Jonathan, and so y'all doing an excellent job. Please, I shared that with you the other day on the phone, and please continue to share that with your staff there. That's going great right there. You gotta be 14 and up to use to use some certain features of that there, so please, everybody, abide to those rules, and staff's there to friendly remind you if you're accidentally not following one. I got a friendly reminder myself and didn't read the sign, so what I'm saying is nobody's exempt from them right there. You mean, so thank you on that, Jonathan. I guess the topic's going to be community centers. Our other community center location had a daddy-daughter dance there 2 weeks ago this coming Friday, and that was very well attended. The public continues to enjoy that very much. I encourage anybody that's here or listening online, attend that next year. It's a great turnout. And Maureen, I know you have an event coming up soon too that is for daddy daughters or sons and moms and events like that at the Art Center too, correct? It was on Saturday. It's just past Saturday, okay. I couldn't attend this past Saturday, but I knew I saw it coming up on our calendar at one point, and so I'm sure that went very, very well also. That's excellent. Very, very glad to hear that right there. stat departments here and staff members are going to be involved on depending on what Snow Armageddon brings tomorrow. Our thoughts are with y'all. Thank you for what you do. I know tomorrow could be a long day sometimes on the day of that kind of event, but also as you're preparing for that coming in. Hopefully we don't have a lot of sirens going off tomorrow either with wrecks or things going on, Chiefs. But in all seriousness of that tomorrow, thank y'all for what you're doing. Be safe tomorrow out there and stay warm at the same time. I don't have any other further comments. Manager, do you have anything to add or any closed session for tonight?
No closed session. I will just add that I want to just recognize and thank you as a board for allowing us to staff up for the opening of the Hilltop Needmore Town Park Community Center in advance of that building being constructed and opening. We took a similar approach with the Art Center when we hired Maureen and some additional staff there in advance of the facility's opening. That allows us to plan and be prepared so that we can work out as many of the kinks as possible before welcoming the public in those spaces. Without your commitment to doing that as a board, it would put us behind the 8 ball. So I want to recognize you and thank you for that as we think about facilities in the future. No closed session this evening, Mr. Mayor. Thank you.
All right, no further business. We'll entertain a motion for adjournment.
So moved.
Second.
Motion second, all in favor say aye. Aye. All right, we're adjourned.